think it's 5 guys on the roster who were here last season in the organization. How does that impact? Austin was just talking about setting a culture. How does having that amount of guys that were in the organization already help to set the culture to all the other guys who are joining the team?
I mean, it's great. I think it's a unique situation where we do have a lot of roster players, and because of that, we have an opportunity to build off of something that, we just recently ended, so it's good. Yeah.
DJ, do you show you guys film video of the team and the type of style that you play and what worked? Is that something that you do? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I think the main goal from Summer League is building a mindset of what we have with an expectation and a mindset of what we have with the normal team. And then I think in general, from a X's and O's perspective, we're trying to instill offensively and defensively principles, themes, concepts, things that our normal team does with these guys here, and we're trying to build that into what they do and how they play. Yeah.
How different is this? How much are you talking to these guys as the game goes on, about everything they're doing, or is it kind of leave them alone until before or after?
I mean, that's a good question because for me, I talk a lot, so I am talking to them a lot. I think in general, right now as a staff, we're really focusing on teaching. So part of integrating is more teaching. And I think these guys are doing a good job of handling that, and hopefully they're not too tired of me yet. So.
Whether it's Joe or Tony Dobbins, have you talked to some of the other guys that have been Summer League coaches, and what's their advice been?
First of all, get a chance to learn from those two. It's pretty cool. Their advice has just been be me and coach, and I think that they do a good job of stretching the staff to grow, and they're challenging me to grow. And I think that's within leadership, that's within on-court presence, and teaching. And so I think that the things that they do well are encouraging and encouraging growth, which is good.
What is your coaching style? Are you a stander the whole game? Are you working the refs? Are you quiet? Are you sitting down? Are you a lot of high-level timeout guy? Like, what is your – are you still learning that head coaching style?
I would say I'm definitely figuring it out, yeah. I'm learning, I'm growing. I don't know yet. I can tell you for a fact that I'm loud. So you'll hear me, I just don't know how I'll do that, which is good, yeah.
DJ, what are some of the goals for the guys who were on the roster last year? Jordan went through this last year. Jaden, going into his first summer. Neemi, coming back with the team here. What are some of the individual things you want to see from those guys?
I mean, first and foremost, there's a mindset of improvement, right? Like 3 weeks ago yesterday, we were in the Garden winning a championship, right? And now we're here in a situation where we have an opportunity to grow towards the next one. And I think, thinking back on the past of Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, those guys started their growth points here. And I think that each year you get an opportunity to do this. It's a time to get better. And for them, they each have individual things that they're working on from a basketball perspective, but it's the mindset of growth. How can you get better each and every day? How can you start that journey towards the next title? How can you start that journey towards the next season? I think are things that we're working towards and trying to do here.
How much are you trying to help a guy like Baylor come in as a first-round pick, and the team is so much set roster-wise, but also tradition and everything you guys have gone through?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that comes to mind with Baylor is he's just a competitor, and I think that's great. I think seeing him compete on a day-to-day basis and having an open-mindedness to what we do here is something that he's done a great job of in the first 2 days and what we're trying to grow.
What do you see in Anton's game? Obviously, you work a lot with the bigs, positionally, what he can bring to the floor, what you see in him as a role goes into the future. What do you kind of see from his game?
I mean, the first thing that sticks out when you watch him is just how well he does on the ball defensively. He's a special defender. He's strong. He really, really moves people. And so I think that that's something that has really been impressive. And I do think one thing for him, he is a better shooter than maybe he's shown, and we're just really trying to encourage that. So.
With the young guys, do they come in a little bright-eyed, like, oh my gosh, this is the Boston Celtics, my first NBA opportunity, and how do you deal with that as you get them ready?
I think generally speaking, it's pretty frenetic right now in these settings. So it's actually more of a how do you create a system and a setting where you're organized and you're spaced correctly? Are you in the right spots? Are you communicating the right things? Those are the types of things that we're trying to get those guys to focus on right now. And I think generally speaking, right now, that's difficult because they are playing so hard. They're playing such a, so they're so competitive that you know, how do you slow down and get to those spaces, which is good.
DJ, there's been a lot of talk about the roster turnover, the lack thereof.
Yeah.
But the coaching staff, you guys lost Charles, Blaine, and Buck all going to Charlotte next year. How excited are you for the opportunity this summer? And then what are you guys going to miss from those guys, what they brought to you?
First of all, I'm stoked. Like, get to be the head coach of, you know, the Summer League team of the Boston Celtics. Like, what an honor. What a joy. I'm so grateful. In terms of what we'll miss from those guys, Charles in particular, his positivity, his energy, his day-to-day. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched the Charlotte games, but the joy that they're playing with and the energy that they have is really, really special. And they've obviously gotten off to a good start there. With Blaine, I think his mind for the game, he's a special thinker. Some of the things we did in the finals were like his idea, so he really is great about that. And then Buck, just in general, his spirit for learning, I think he, from maybe anyone on our staff, grew the most from start to finish last year, and I think it's really, really cool that he gets to go be an assistant coach with the Hornets. We're going to miss him a lot. So.
Because of what happened 3 weeks ago, do you feel immense pressure going into this situation as the head coach of this team?
It's the Celtics, of course, you know.
Must raise banners.
The expectation is to win here, you know, and we enjoy that and welcome that.
Is it next season already?
Is it next season already? Yeah, I think we're in the beginning stages of that. Yeah, I think, man, it's hard to process going from a championship to this, but I do think we have begun those stages, and we're working towards that. Yeah.
I was kind of going to ask you about that. When did you actually find out that you were going to be the head coach of the Summer League team, and then what was the transition period like from celebrating a championship to putting together your plans?
So I found out I was going to be a dad, and I found out I was going to be the Summer League head coach about the same time last year. So it was Joe's decision last year, and being a dad is cooler than that, but it was really, really special. Joe's entrusted trust in me, and I'm thankful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Take it, DJ.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, DJ. Good to